The wind rolled across the dry plains of Wyoming like it had something to say. Dust lifted from the ground, danced for a moment, and then settled again. The town of Red Hollow barely noticed anymore. It had been quiet for years, too quiet for a place that once echoed with horses, gunshots, and laughter. Samuel Carter sat alone outside the old post office, rocking slowly in a wooden chair that creaked louder than the town itself. He came every morning at the same time, sat in the same chair, and waited. No one asked what he was waiting for anymore. They all knew. A letter. 20 years ago, Samuel Carter had been the fastest rider in 3 counties, a ranch owner with strong hands and a louder voice. He had a wife named Alina and a little boy named Thomas. Life had been simple, hard but simple. Until the night everything burned. Bandits had come looking for money Samuel didn't have. He fought back, shots were fired, horses screamed, and in the chaos his home caught fire. By the time Samuel dragged himself from the dirt, everything was gone. The house, the barn, his wife, and his son. The town buried 2 graves the next morning, one for Alina and one for Thomas. Samuel never cried at the funeral, not once. He just stared at the ground like he was memorizing the exact spot where his world ended. 3 days later, he found something in the ashes. A small metal toy horse, Thomas's favorite. Samuel kept it in his pocket ever since. Years passed, the town rebuilt, people moved on, but Samuel didn't. He sold what little land remained and stayed near the post office, every day, waiting. Because the night of the fire, something had never made sense. They never found Thomas's body. The preacher said the flames must have taken everything. The sheriff said animals probably dragged remains away. Everyone had an explanation. But Samuel had a feeling. A stubborn, painful feeling. His boy wasn't gone. So he waited. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. Years turned into decades. People stopped believing. But Samuel never did. Then one afternoon, when the sky looked heavy with rain, the new postman arrived. He was young, barely 20, and still took his job seriously. He sorted letters carefully, unlike the last one who dumped everything in a pile. Samuel didn't expect anything different. He rarely even spoke anymore. But then the postman stopped. He picked up a yellowed envelope. "Mr. Carter," he called. Samuel didn't move at first. People had said his name before by mistake. "Samuel Carter," the postman repeated. Samuel slowly lifted his head. "I think this is yours." The envelope looked old, worn, travel-stained, the handwriting shaky but careful. Samuel's hands trembled as he took it. There was no return address, just 4 words written on the front. "To my father." The world went silent. Samuel stared at it for a long time. His fingers tightened around the paper like it might disappear. Finally, he opened it. Inside was a single folded letter. He read slowly. "If this finds you, I hope you're still alive. My name is Thomas Carter. I was told my father died in a fire 20 years ago. But last week, a man passing through said he once knew a Samuel Carter in Red Hollow. If that's you, I think I'm your son." Samuel's breath stopped. His eyes blurred. The letter continued. "The night of the fire, someone pulled me from the house. I don't remember his face. He rode all night. Said the men who attacked us would come back if I stayed. He left me at a church far north. The priest raised me. I always believed my parents were gone. Until now. If you're still there, I'll come. It might take time, I don't have much, but I'll come. Thomas." Samuel's hands shook so badly the letter rattled. For 20 years he had waited. For 20 years, hope had been the only thing keeping him breathing. And now it was real. The next 3 weeks were the longest of Samuel's life. He didn't sleep. He barely ate. Every sound of hooves made him stand. Every silhouette on the horizon made his heart pound. Then one evening, just before sunset, a rider appeared. The horse was tired. Dust covered everything. The rider sat straight but looked worn from travel. Samuel stood slowly. The rider dismounted. For a moment, neither spoke. The young man had Samuel's eyes. Same steady stare, same quiet strength. "Mr. Carter," the young man asked. Samuel couldn't answer. The young man stepped closer, his voice softer now. "My name is Thomas." Samuel's knees almost gave out. He stepped forward, searching the young man's face like he was afraid to believe. Then Thomas reached into his pocket. He pulled out a small metal toy horse. "I kept this," Thomas said quietly. "They said it was in my hand when they found me." Samuel broke. 20 years of silence shattered at once. He pulled Thomas into his arms, holding him tighter than anything he'd ever held before. The town watched in stunned silence as the old man who never cried finally did. Father and son stood in the dust, both shaking, both trying to understand how time had given them another chance. After a long moment, Thomas spoke. "I didn't know if you'd still be here." Samuel wiped his eyes. "I told everyone you were alive." Thomas smiled faintly. "Guess you were right." The sun dipped below the hills, casting long shadows across Red Hollow. For the first time in 20 years, Samuel Carter didn't sit in the chair outside the post office. He walked home beside his son. And the wind that passed through town that night didn't sound lonely anymore.